Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Leeds have, of course, just won 2-1 at home against Watford at Elland Road, of course. Before we get into that, make sure you go ahead and hit that big red button down below. But like I said, Leeds have just won 2-1 in a game that can only be described as 10% fun, 90% squeaky bum time. It's my summary of this game. Thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one. We scored 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, and the first one, Ramazani cut inside, tried to curl one to the far post, kind of hit it straight down the middle at the end, and Daniel Bachmann in the Watford goal ended up just flapping at it, and it went over his head behind him, and he dived and tried to flick it out the goal, but it had already gone in on goal line technology. Forgot to address this, by the way. We've now got a corner count going on the streams. If you don't join on the streams and you are watching the games from home, then I recommend coming and joining our community on there, because it's a great laugh even when Leeds are losing. Well, it's not as good of a laugh, but it's still better than watching it on your own. So I've been putting a corner count up because it's 179 goals between our last goals from corners, and we're seeing how high it gets this time. I'm going to make a prediction now. It's going to be 57 corners, and then we're going to score another one. But back to the actual game. The second goal, Bogle, I think it was Bogle who came down the line. Or was it Nonto? Someone crossed it in, and Bachmann just palmed it straight into the path of Aronson, who just put it in the back of the net. And I think we could have had many more goals from that game. We were very profligate in front of goal. Luckily, they didn't manage to capitalise too much. I think we really dominated the opening exchanges, and I think it was kind of mainly due to the fact that Watford were sitting back a lot. They were allowing us a lot of the ball, and I think cleverly, as in the manager cleverly, not intelligently, realised fairly early on that they were going to struggle if they were going to keep doing that. So then, after they'd gone 2-0 down, he changed them to press higher up the pitch. They pressed us high until probably near half-time, properly getting in our faces, and it stopped our rhythm. It stopped us being able to go and get any more goals. So I think that was a clever move from him. And then as it went into the second half, they dropped back a little bit into a bit of a mid-block. It became a much more even game in the end. Quado Bar, who scored their goal, had the runaround of our defence at times. When he had the ball and he had a chance to isolate Strauch or Firpo, he was really going at them and getting past them, and Strauch was really struggling to keep a hold of him. But after he got his goal, he was taken off eventually, and they didn't manage to do anything else particularly with him. But he was a threat, and that's a little bit of a... It's the sacrifice you make with the system that you play, because Firpo's meant to be high and wide, which then means that Strauch sometimes has to come across and fill in at that left-back position, which is going to leave gaps, which is going to mean if Strauch gets beaten, you've only got one centre-back in the box. It's the risk you take with playing high attacking full-backs, wing-backs, etc. So we're willing to take that. But what I think is good is that we managed to hold on to a lead for 80 minutes, 83. Actually, no, because we went all the way through extra time as well. It's pretty much 90 minutes that we held on to a lead for and didn't give it away. So I think that's a good sign of our kind of resilience, our ability to not crumble under pressure. It takes us up to second in the table. I don't think that's too bad. After the last few weeks, we would have been top if we'd have beaten Sunderland, but obviously we only got a draw because of the bobble at the Stadium of Light. But we move on, and I think in this game we weren't great, but we did enough, and that's the thing. It's a horrible thing to have to do, but I'm going to compare it now slightly to scum of old. But under Alex Ferguson, they did always manage to get the job done, even when they played badly. They would scrape a 1-0, even when they played badly. And that's how they won titles. That is how teams won titles. That is how teams win titles, is even when they don't play well, particularly, they managed to get the job done in the end. And that's what we did today. We got the job done. In terms of personnel, performance-wise, I think we were all a little bit off it compared to what we were against Sheffield United, but that was a very good performance. I think Tanaka was great in there. He was my man of the match in this game. Rothwell was decent. A little bit more giving the ball away than normal from Rothwell and Tanaka, but that doesn't happen very often anyway. So I thought they were both very good. I thought Nonto was good. I thought Ramazani, obviously, in the opening exchanges was good, but he had to come off for Solomon, who, again, I don't know if he's not 100% match fit or whether he's just not that good, whether he underestimated how easy the championship would be, but he didn't really manage to have any impact, and he was taken off again at the end for Byram to come on and try and see things out. Firpo got himself a yellow card, which means he's now banned for the next game, but you have got Byram and Schmidt who can both play there, so that's not the end of the world. It was whether Rodon would get one, which I then think after Rodon on the bench, you're only looking at DeBio, really. There's no Cooper, obviously he's gone. DeBio's there, there's no Verba because he's injured. There's no Cresswell because he's gone. So we are pretty thin on the ground when it comes to centre-backs, and Ampadu is the one who could play there as well. But of course, he's also injured. So I'm a bit worried about Rodon getting another yellow card and getting his ban. And it certainly was in this game, but he didn't. But yeah, overall, I don't think we were great. I think we had many chances to score. Bogle hit the post off a cross that then bounced back out, and Leeds somehow didn't manage to finish it, even when it fell at the feet of Joel Peru. You'd always expect to finish from that distance. So there's things to improve on. Always the goal is to be better at finishing with Leeds. We were poor in front of goal in terms of our shooting, but I thought when Dan James came on, he added a breath of fresh air. Great to see him back. The way that he cut inside and then he did that outside of the foot Trivella cross into the path of Mateo Joseph, who again should have finished it. He headed it straight down and bounced up into the goalkeeper. He should have done so much better with that chance, and Leeds should have been away with it, really. They didn't really have that many chances when you actually look at it. We limited their chances. We created chances for ourselves. We just need to score them more. We just need to take them more. Mateo Joseph had one. Peru had one. Multiple players had chances to score. Nonto had a few where he actually did manage to get them on target, decent shots that the goalkeeper saved. So there was that as well. But overall, a win's a win in this game. We take it and we move on to the next one, which is, of course, Bristol City away at the weekend. I'll be live for it. So like I said at the start, come and join the community if you don't already. Come and watch the live watch along. And we'll be talking all things Leeds there. So thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one.